Hello and welcome to Dancing Mad Ultimate Melee Walkthrough Part 1. We're only going to go through Phase 1 in this video, and the next video is probably going to take a while because the strats are still kind of changing day after day, and I have to get clean footage myself and all that jazz. But in this video, this isn't going to be a full-on guide. This is going to be a Melee walkthrough where I walk through everything you need to think about as a Melee. I'm not going to go into detailed mechanics too much. I'll explain a little bit of what you have to worry about. Here we go. Let's start it off. So, fight is going to start out. All you need to know for this phase is your Melee 1 or Melee 2. You might notice I have a focus target on one of the other DPS. That is for phase 2. We won't worry about that right now. The fight is going to start out with a tank buster. As a melee, we don't have to worry about that. This is a very fast-paced phase. I like it a lot. It's really fun to do. Alright, and the first real mechanic is cast Graven Image. And he's going to tether either all of the supports or all of the DPS. Whoever gets the tether, they're going to be knocked back right before the resolution of the next mechanic. So the tether is going from the statue over there. So the knockback is going to knock you back in that direction. Should we go blue or red? I don't know. I don't know what color to go. Anyway, so we're going to get knocked back. And then he's going to show you two things, okay? He's going to show you this marker above everyone's head. That would be a spread. Everyone's going to explode, so they have to spread out. And then the floor is going to explode, so you'd have to resolve this. However, this is Kefka, so there's a twist. Notice the rings around the boss. The top ring has a question mark on it. The top ring is the spread or the stack, okay? So that means this stack is a lie because there's a question mark here. So this is not a spread, this is a stack. Okay, and then the bottom ring is going to be these big, huge cones in the floor. There's not a question mark under that, so that's true. What I do when I do this is I just call real and false, or whatever the boss is. And for me, I know the first one that I say is the top one, the second one that I say is the bottom one. So we're going to need to stack, and we're going to have to stack in the safe spot on the floor because it is fake and real. If it was spread, Melee 1 would be either here or here, depending on the safe spot. Melee 2 would be right there, depending on which side is safe. So we're going to have to kind of run up because we're going to get knocked back. We have a second to adjust and stack. With the first time you go into this instance, that's going to be very fast. And it's going to take you a few tries, but it's really not bad. It's very repeatable once you get a few reps in. Immediately afterwards, Melee 1 is going to stand inside the hitbox about right here. Melee 2 is going to be edge of hitbox about right here, because we're about to get lasered from this over here. Nope. And laser. 2 DPS are going to get lasered. They're going to drop a tower to stand in. Use your eyes. Go to the one that makes sense, right? So the 2 middle DPS got here. So because we're on the left, we're going to take the closest one on the right side. Okay. All of these mechanics are resolved on the right side of the arena. Ignore the left side completely for this first set of mechanics. Okay. Once you take, immediately after you take the towers, then you have a confetti debuff to go through. All the DPS are going to stack right here, due east, right on the hitbox, unless you have a confetti debuff. It looks like this right here, if you look at the party list. The person with the confetti is just going to be one step out. What the confetti is going to do is you need to stack with your entire role group. So all the DPS need to get hit by this, and it's going to knock the non-confetti ones away from where the confetti is, and it's going to pass the confetti. This is part of the puzzle mechanic of this ultimate. You have to keep the confetti alive the entire phase. If you mess this up, you can still go into phase 2 and prog phase 2, but you will not be able to go to phase 3. So for this first one, I resolve it just like this. Now notice we are going to get knocked back this way, and he's doing another real or false. This time, it's two things on the floor. The top ring, this ring, that's going to be these lines, okay? And the bottom ring, this ring, that's the same one as the first one. It's going to be these huge cones. So we can see here that it is true and false. So that means that the lines are true, so stay out of the lines, and the cones are false, so go into the cones. So get knocked back. And stand in the cone. Again, it's pretty fast. You're going to get so many reps in this that it's going to be easy. Light of Judgment is just a AoE. Then there's going to be a Tank Buster. Another Graven Image is going to put lines on everybody. Okay. Or tethers, rather. So you see tethers are coming from two different places. Tethers are coming from the left and tethers are coming from the right. If your tether is coming from the left, you're going to drop a puddle when we stack for in a second. If your tether is coming from the right, it's going to resolve after that, and you're going to get a meteor, and you're going to have to spread. We'll talk about it in a second. But everyone is going to go north. This is also a true false, so there's no question mark here, so it's a true. Everyone is going to stack on the A marker here, and you're just going to shift to whatever side is safe. So right now, this side is safe because it's true. As soon as it goes off, there's a huge puddle, and we were the left tether, so we don't have a tether right now. You can see like the supports, they have a tether. So if you don't have a tether, just go complete center of the boss. If you do have a tether, melee 1 is going to go left as you're looking at the boss. Melee 2 is going to go right as you're looking at the boss. And you're just going to hang around like max melee around here. Those tethers are going to drop a meteor on you. And if you hit if you hit anyone else or if you hit a puddle, then everyone dies. Let's go back just a smidge. Okay. Look at the statue behind the boss. There's an orb on the left side, so there's going to be a cleave on the left side in a second. Okay, so we need to be on the right. There's going to be 2 tank busters and a left cleave, and then we're going to go to C. 1 tank buster, 2 tank buster, and then we're going to go to C. Now, I was paying attention in this pull, so I already knew that my tether was on the right, so I'm going to have a meteor. You can actually just kind of adjust. There's enough time after the puddle drops. You can just kind of look to see if you still have a tether and whether you have to go in or out. Puddle drops. I have a tether. I'm melee 1, so I'm going left. And you may have noticed it was quick. There was another orb on the right side, so that one's going to explode in a second. So we need to go to the left side. We're going to wait for that. So see that cleave? There's a line going down the middle. Okay? And the confetti debuff, remember the stack and the knockback? That's about to resolve. It has 3 seconds left. So if you're a DPS that doesn't have a confetti, you're going to stand right on the middle right here. If you do have the confetti, you're going to stand right behind them, so you're going to knock the other DPS forward. The same thing is going to happen with the supports on this side. They're going to knock this way. Everyone is going to get knocked away and into this puddle because we need to soak the puddle for the puzzle. The confetti debuff, after you knock your friends away, take a step back so there's 4 people in each puddle. Boom, 4 people in each puddle. We take the puddle and then just hit the boss. We're actually almost done with this phase. It's a pretty chill phase. It's just fast. You're going to need some repetitions, but it's very repeatable. Very fun. I like it a lot. Notice we have the confetti debuff. Okay, Teletrouncing. So Teletrouncing is going to give everybody a debuff that is going to... Let's just get the debuff first. Okay, notice we got a debuff with 2 arrows on it. When those debuffs expire, they're going to drop like a button on the floor with an arrow pointing in that direction that's true north. When you step on that, it's going to launch you in that direction a few feet. We need, because this is also part of the puzzle to get to phase 3, we need to put them in this pattern. So you can see if you have 2 arrows that are pointing in the same direction, that's really easy. You're just gonna drop one on the cardinal and then like take a step backwards and drop it again. If you don't have 2 that are going the same direction, you might think this is kind of hard to realize really fast, but there's a really easy solution to it. So what you do is you point your camera to D every time. Always point your camera to D. Then take a look at your leftmost arrow. The leftmost arrow, while we're looking at D, it's pointing that way, right? So you're going to move that way and you're going to be on that side. Okay? If you have different directions, you're going to be putting them clockwise from the cardinal. If you have the same direction, you're going to be putting them on the cardinal and then one backwards. The only thing you have to worry about is the timers might be different. So you might place this one first, or you might place this one first. You just have to look at the timers. It's not bad. It's really not bad. So I see that the up arrow. Remember, we're trying to make this go clockwise. So this up arrow, this up arrow right there is going to expire first. The place that we put it, you see this marker here, and you see this marker here, and the intersection there. And then the right arrow that we put in the corner, see this marker here, and in line with this marker here. So we're going to put one right here, and the other right there. And then, notice, we have the confetti, okay? This is the last confetti of the phase. All the DPS are going to go southeast on the hitbox here, unless you have the confetti, in which you're going to take one step back. Let's see how I do that here. One step back, I can still hit the boss. I launch them forward. And then, with all of these arrows around, we need to use every single arrow in order to make it to phase 3. This is, again, part of the puzzle. So we have set spots for this that you're going to go in the same spot every time. So once the arrows are placed, you're done thinking. Okay? So melee 1 is going to go pretty much max melee by the C marker. Melee 2 is going to be by the D marker down here, or up there. And then you just stand still and let mechanic resolve. Okay? There's one more mechanic of the fight. Right after this resolves, we're going to have a similar truth lie mechanic where we stack or spread and stand on the ground. And, see this eye? This is a look away. If this had a question mark on it, it would be a look toward. So there's 3 things that might be lying in this mechanic, and you have to process it within a few seconds. It's honestly the thing in this entire phase that I have the most trouble with. But I think I do it well in this pull. So we need to look away from it, and then we're going to start trying to analyze this. Your default spot as melee 1 is going to be around here at 1. your default spot for melee 2 is going to be around 4, around there. Okay? And you're going to try and resolve this around those positions. So we know that we have to look away. We see that the top one is just like the first one. So the top one is the stack or spread. That is true, so we need to stack. And then the bottom one is the floor debuff. That is false. So we need to stack while inside this bottom. This is actually a really easy combination. You can just hit the boss and look away. My jittery camera is because I'm kind of flailing about, but we do it. There's a lot of different patterns for what I just showed. You're going to have to check the paste bin. There's a whole bunch of different patterns on there that you can study. And honestly, you're just going to have to eyeball it and look at it and see what makes sense. But that is phase 1. If you've gotten the boss under 15%, you will make it to phase 2. This was a very clean pull, and you can see we very easily beat the Enrage. The Enrage is not bad if there's no deaths. You can squeeze by with a couple deaths if you get them up really fast. But generally speaking, like, try to do it right. If this was helpful, let me know below. If it wasn't, I don't know why you're still here. Next video is coming as soon as I can get a clean phase 2, and when I think the strategies have settled. Because again, almost every single day, the strategies for phase 2 have changed slightly. And I would like to make a video that will be accurate. So we'll see. Keep watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.